Orb Big Spell Mage still seems to be the best deck after the latest patch, and in this video I'm gonna give you a quick guide about it, talk about the mulligans, as well as show you some of the games from the last coaching session with it. So if you're serious about Hearthstone, drop a like and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget you can hire for some Hearthstone coaching, as well as check out my Metafy Hearthstone courses. Now, let's check out the deck.
You are not prepared!
Here's the variant we used, and it is looking pretty close to what we're used to seeing, but we do have a few interesting inclusions in here, in the form of a couple of cult neophytes, a single copy of a speaker stomper, as well as a single copy of a volume up, which actually comes in quite handy for you to actually find your big spells, so you can get your full roster of big spells to repeat, including the Galactic Projection Orb, which you could get a copy of, which would be your best out. With this variant, nowadays Audio Splitter is pretty much a staple in the deck, and with this you could get extra copies of your Orb, and you could get even more copies with the help of Reverb, which would be another excellent spell to get copy of from Volume Up, and that way that's just an extra copy of Orb with extra steps. The Cult Neophytes are going to be working well against other fellow Big Spell Mages. The Reverb is usually used for your Audio Splitter, for your Titan, or for something from the opponent, so definitely be flexible about it. The Robo-Color definitely helps you big time drawing all sorts of different things, and you could even use this on curve, like if you top deck this on when you're able to play it, you could actually just play it and grab yourself a couple of Tsunamis and a Caligos. It's not gonna be your best way to grab them, but if you don't have your Watercolor Artist, might as well fan out the deck if you really want to. We have a single copy of Rising Wave so you can deal with some early game aggressive decks. And it's also not a bad thing to have in your roster of orb spells to get repeated, so you can actually clear the way for your Tsunami and Sunset Volley. The single copy of Volume Up could actually make you burn some spells, especially if you start repeating this with the help of the Orb, but in the end of the day, if you're starting to play Orb, at that point you probably don't care about burning your other spells in the deck, so it could actually be pretty nice like that. Couple of Star Powers deal excellent with a lot of boards, and it's also great for you to repeat this with your Orb, so again you can clear the way for your Tsunami and the Volley like that. Narganon, you usually plop it on curve and play it for make your opponent's cards cost one more next turn. After that you drop a couple of secrets, and if you're lucky enough for this thing to stick for the 20 damage after that, you could even reverb it once or twice, and that would be literally 60 damage to the face, but let's face it, nobody leaves the Titan alive for that long, so there's that. For Lamaster Skyla, nowadays she's mainly used for just having access to the rogue cards, but if you get lucky you could get yourself some 0 mana Sunset Valley, 0 mana Tsunami, but let's not forget that your Orb is your highest cost spell nowadays, so a lot of the time you're not really gonna get too much use out of her, but obvious you still could. Puzzle Master Khadgar gives you some nice defense tools. Marin, still decent enough, yeah, it's no longer gonna give you zeros, but drawing you free cards is definitely excellent, and the discount is pretty good. And this is also a free mana spell you get to repeat with the Orb, as long as it doesn't interfere with the reverbs and whatnot, as well as with the Rising Wave, so there's that. Caligos, usually amazing, especially on curve, and especially on turn 6 with the help of Seashell. Just don't forget not to be using coins to play this guy, because the first spell is gonna be the coin in that case. Tsunami, still pretty good. It's only summoning 3 idiots nowadays, but you also get to drop it a bit sooner with the help of Watercolor Artist. And the other big change to this thing is Tsunami is going to be casting before Sunset Volley, so that's also getting a little bit messy, but it's usually an empty board with the help of Rising Wave and Star Power before that, so it's not that big a deal, but it is something to consider. DJ Manastorm, pretty nice like that. You can actually discount a lot of things with the help of this guy, like you could play this when you already have Volley and Tsunami, and on turn 10 you drop this guy, play a 0 mana Volley and then a 1 mana Tsunami, and that's usually great. Just don't forget this keeps on pumping up the cost of the spells you had in your hand, so make sure to math correctly if you're going to be using a bunch of spells later. And we also have Ziliax in here, which is the summon a copy plus perfect module, so pretty good stuff for defense for you. And lastly, it's obviously the Galactic Orb. In terms of Mulligan, I'm going to have to use a somewhat similar deck so we can have a good idea of what you want to be holding on to. And here's what it looks like going first. King Tide is definitely great in that case, so you can actually have access to big spells before the opponent has access to 5 mana. Watercolor Artist is MVP, Miracle Salesman on 1 ain't bad, the weapon is pretty good. Titan, I don't know, I guess you could, but try to be curving into it. Seashell definitely great. We're not running these cards in this variant. Tsunami could be something to hold on to if you already have something like a weapon, Seashell, that kind of deal. But it's obviously a lot better to grab it through the Watercolor Artist. Skyla could be a good thing, but nowadays probably not so much. And depending on the matchup, you might be holding on to some other removal cards. Really comes down to what you're facing. And as for the coin, here's what it looks like again. It's still pretty much the same with watercolor, metal detector, miracle. Caligos could be a consideration, but not really. It's something you can only hold on to if you already have a perfect hand, and even then it's kind of questionable. Seashell's still great. Tsunami could be a keep. Conman, usually really not that great of an idea, like you'd rather just top deck it later. Nargonon's still okay, and yeah, it's kind of the same deal. Just make sure to be holding on to some removal if you're against faster decks, and honestly, holding on to your Robocolor is also not a bad idea if you ask me, and volume up can also be a consideration, since we have that in this one. All around, that's it for the deck. Hope this guide helps you. Now let's check out some of the games from the last coaching session to Legend with it. Hope you enjoy. Yes, the Death Knight. Oh, that's a skin I haven't even seen before. I honestly believe volume up is a straight up keep, but the rest can go. Okay, hand is still kind of shitty, but this guy is not going to be very quick. He is also a 40. Okay, hard pass. Might end up turning out to be a Reno deck for all we know. We'll see. Wow, 2 Tsunamis before you even get to see your watercolor. Sphinx game. Hero power. The 1-1. Hopefully we get to see something playable next turn. Fucking bullshit, man. Let's think a little here. If you actually reverb the 1-2, that's gonna give you a little bit of card draw, and it's also gonna force him into hero powering yours, so with a hand like this, I think you're actually gonna do something silly like this. Yeah, do it. You gotta be flexible, be able to do some stupid plays like this. In some cases, you don't play the way you usually do.
Okay.
This is definitely gonna be one of those games, because we're really getting some pretty crappy stuff. Oh wow, he's not gonna kill it, or is he gonna coin here? Doesn't. Weird. Okay, well, if you play volume up, we are gonna be burning the top deck, but as long as you get a couple of orbs in your hand, I think we're gonna be very happy. So let's try and do that. Yeah, you did get your orbs indeed. So get a copy of the orb. And kill the 1-2 with your 1-2 so we don't burn any more cards than we need to, and also stop his card draw. That's about it.
The citadel stands strong.
Okay, that was a useless burn for us. What do you want to do here?
Probably Rising Waves.
What else are we gonna do this turn?
Is it worth Primordial Glyph as well?
I think it's not a bad idea to start with that, yeah. Let's see what's in the glyph. Let's see what's in the glyph first. Okay. You might get baited into thinking Elemental Inspiration could be a good spell to get, but if you actually do that, that's gonna probably board lock you for your water elementals later on, so I think you grab the Frostbolt. And use the free mana Rising still. And right now, this 0 mana Frostbolt might actually be more useful to you to stay in hand, because you could top deck Portal Master Skyla. Now that I said it, it's gonna be absolutely useless for you, because it's gonna give you a 0 mana orb right now. Should we just use it? It's not a great idea to use it. Then again, this guy is definitely running the Grifta, so you could burn the top deck. Yeah, use it on his face just so you don't burn the top deck. Sitting at 9 cards against Reno decks nowadays is somewhat dangerous because Grifta is very used. Okay, he's not Highlander it seems. Good to know. He's some kind of a hand buff Death Knight. So far we have seen a single blood. I think it's gonna be more than a single blood rune deck though. Okay, what do you feel like doing here?
I'm not sure here. I'm not really sure how to use this. Norganon. What's
The
the best
Titan
way to
is
use it
definitely
generally?
not a bad idea to be used right now. You could use it to make his next cards more expensive for next turn.
Expensive. That's how I normally use it.
That's how
Like,
you
if
normally
it
should
boosts
use
it.
it. Unless you have a very good
Okay.
reason to be using the 5 damage to kill something, you always start with the make cards more expensive, so let's go ahead and do that.
Yep.
Okay, that's about it. If this guy for some reason sticks around for a turn or two, you could actually use your reverb on it and deal 40 damage on a single pop in a couple of turns, but that usually never happens,
Yeah.
especially against a control deck. That's another way to use your reverb.
Yeah.
But like I said, it very rarely sticks, if ever. Okay. What do you want to be doing this turn?
Is it worth trading speaker?
If you have nothing better to do, it's not a bad idea, but I think we could actually go with a 5-mana star power into a hero power into the free one after that. It's not an amazing star power board, but this guy is not supposed to give you too many amazing star power boards anyway, so kill off the free one here. There we go. Because next turn we're trying to set up a tsunami, and right now the board is empty. Okay, that's not a great target for a tsunami, sadly. Well, it's not the worst either. Could be a lot worse, and in the end of the day, the idea is just to get tsunami operational, so I think I'm down to play tsunami this turn. Next turn we could be doing an audio splitter reverb. Yeah, tsunami and pass. And now it's a Sunset Volley waiting room kind of deal. That was a good burn against us. Sure. Haven't seen that one in a while. Okay, what do you want to do this turn? Yeah, I think it's audio splitter plus reverb.
So audio splitter and then
Yeah,
reverb
audio
the
splitter, give it a reverb. And I think you can drop Cult Neophyte on the board as well to make some room if we manage to get some card draw soon. And we're left with a couple of mana, so I think you can just ping down the free 5. That's about it. We're not afraid of a Reno this turn because it's one turn away from him being able to do that. So that's why we didn't bother to ping out our own free 2.
Okay, yeah.
It's actually a sturdy body for you right now. Silence is not exactly in the game right now, except for priests and rogues, I guess, so we're not really afraid of that too much. Okay. Ooh, Kelly Ghosts. Might end up getting lucky, and this Caligos could give you a volley, but before you consider dropping him, you definitely need to make the trade first, because if you don't, that's gonna mess you up. Problem is, this free has poison on it right now, so the 2 damage death rattle out of it is actually gonna be dealing poisonous damage, so Caligos dies like that, so I don't think it's a great idea. I think you just trade off your 3-2 into the free. That is not the free I was referring to, man. I literally told you why it's important to kill his 3 damage, 2 damage death rattle Talnos there.
Yeah.
I think you put down a orb right now. We know it's without a volley, but might as well go for it, so it goes with star power and such. But it was definitely important to kill that free because now that's gonna kill one of your water elementals unless it goes face. Okay, you actually got super lucky here with a volley top deck first. Would have been very bad if you actually got the other thing. Okay, all around good stuff. That was pretty risky of us though. The volume up is kind of messy like that. But I think it was still worth the risk. We just had to remember to be aware of that risk though. Okay. Yeah, right now I think it's definitely gonna be a good DJ Mana Storm bullshit. So let's go with DJ Mana Storm first. Then you play a 0 mana Sunset Volley.
Yep.
And after that you play a 1 mana Orb. Few more of those and he's done. Yeah, we are aware we're gonna burn a bunch of spells here. But at this point it really doesn't matter. We don't have much spells left anymore. Perfect. Well, cool news is next turn you can literally play a couple of more Sunset Volleys, so he's gonna stop kicking if he could have handled this board.
Yep.
Yeah, let's see one more. Could be Highlander, could be Big Shaman, could be Rainbow, Pirate, Evolve, so many different Shamans out there. None of these cards really spark much joy for us.
No.
Yeah, we'd rather curve out a little bit better than this. Full toss. Okay, that's not that bad. Okay, Highlander. Interesting. Well, that's about it. We can see what's in the glyph here, yeah? Well, like I said, when you're looking for something, it's usually what you already have in the deck, and the volley is definitely a good thing to get. The others are going to be down to 0, which is kind of cool for a potential Skyla, but nowadays that's not a very powerful play anyway, so get the volley. Okay, right now it's a good idea for you to be double checking what your robocolor is drawing. Right now it's drawing you bullshit, so you don't care about it. We'd much rather play the watercolor artist so we can get Tsunami on curve.
The time has come to dethrone our former master.
Okay, again, we're looking at our robocolor. It's drawing you a volley or a DJ Mana Storm. It also has a 0, so that's useless. We'd much rather hold on to this robocolor once he starts saying 10 mana so you can actually get your orb like that. But we're not very happy about what we're thinking about doing here, because next turn he could be playing his Hodo. So that would be kind of nasty. I'm not sure how good of an idea the splitter would be against this guy though. He is again a control-y deck, so maybe a stealth tempo audio splitter out. At least you're getting some of the big spells. Yeah, play the audio splitter, hero power the 3/4, but the 3/3 attacks the 2/3. This way you get yourself a value trade, and if he wants to trade one, he's gonna kill his. Right now he could be coining out his Dr. Holiday, that's why you didn't tradable your Viper. That was the skill test, and we passed.
Yep.
Okay, we're not in the big hurry to kill the weapon right now. The Robocolor says 10 mana. We would be playing that, but sadly it doesn't, so we are gonna go with the Viper here. Viper. You can hero power the 1/1 and kill off the 3/3. Would have been amazing if you were actually drawing your 10 mana orb this time, because you also would have doubled it up with this guy, but alas, we're gonna double up a volley. Alrighty then, that's about it. Next turn Tsunami is playable for us. But also, we should be keeping an eye on that color. Nope, color is still bullshit. Tsunami definitely feels nice here. That's about it. Oh, come on, left him with the card draw, that's all. Okay. Funny thing about this location is it actually stacks. I mean this location, not the last. Still no tenor. Well, I guess Sunset Valley never hurt nobody, except for this guy. Yeah, whip it out and go face. Oh, that's perfect. That's a lot of damage. Okay, we might not even need an orb against this guy the way we're tempoing him. He does have a coin, so if he actually gets Reno out of this draw location, he might get a discounted. Oh, it's actually a Battlecry minion. The other one is a battle... No, they're both minions. Who am I mistaking this with? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah, this guy looks pretty dead. Okay. Okay. Let's think about it. I think there's lethal here. How can we guarantee it? I think it would be best lethal chance for you if you actually use both the 3/6s into the 3/4 into the 2/4. One for each.
So what? Into the 3/4 and the 2/4?
Yeah, the 3/6 goes into the 3/4, the 3/6 goes into the 2/4. And now you try your luck with the Sunset Volley. Let's see how that goes. Okay, rush down with the 8/8. And I mean, you don't even need to rush, you could have just gone face and that's lethal, and you even have another 6/6 coming at the end of the turn, but what is this end turn we speak of? Okay, well, I think we have time for one more. Paladin. Pally could be a problem if this guy turns out to be Tourist Pally, but it's not a super hard counter, so it's fine. Okay, you actually have Orb in hand. I'd rather not. Just keep the weapon, I'd say. If you were against the Warrior, sure, you could have held on to the Orb as well, but against the Pally, you're gonna need a little bit of early tempo, so Metal Detector is the only keep here. Okay, it's fine. Those guys are 30, that's interesting. They're usually 40 now. Who knows, might end up being a hand buff Pally or some shit. That's all. That is something a hand buff Pally would have. Wow, the orb really wanted to come, huh? Well, in that case, you can put down the splitter. Alrighty then. You can use your weapon to kill the gold banner and the free 2 can go face.
A limited time offer.
Okay. I think I'm down with the volume up. It was actually not the worst idea in the world to count man there for another splitter since you already have an orb in there. Would have been a decent amount of tempo, but let's see what this volume up has to say first. Okay, out of these. Against the hand buff Pally. This is not a hand buff Pally, he's still a tourist Pally. Just showed that with the seashell. I think an extra reverb might help you against his Pipsy, against his tourist, all of that nonsense, so grab a reverb. But we are gonna have to waste the coin unless we're okay with burning. We don't have Tsunami yet, so 4 of the cards we get are Tsunami. Use the coin, your face kills the free 2. Quickly. Coin first, kill the free 2 with your face, and then... Yes, and then coin out hero power into the 2-1. Quickly. There you go. Okay. Kind of messy that we had to spend our coins like that, but with this volume up you have a little bit of hand size issues. Okay, you're still burning a top deck, cause fuck this shit. And let's remember not to be playing the stupid grifted thing, especially if it's the card draw. Okay, healing is fine. Well, that's so fucked up, man. It had to be the Tsunami, huh? Technically, this Primordial glyph could get you the Tsunami still for 6 mana at that, so let's try the 2 mana Primordial. The fuck it will. Out of these, I kind of like the counter spell. Yeah, play the counter spell and hero power to 4/5. This sets it up to die from a Rising Wave next turn if we need it. Pipsy is annoying. We could use reverb on it so you can actually find yourself. Then again, we could also just not give him anything on the board for a while, and that way he's not going to be able to actually trigger it. Rising Wave does clear, but it also summons him a ton of bullshit. It's way too risky this early, I feel. Yeah, let's use the 1 mana Amulet Energy on your face. This does indeed draw you that Tsunami, but you're also gonna be burning another top deck. Are we okay with that? I think you're actually okay with that. Let's play the 3 mana Robocolor. That's gonna draw you a single Caligos and a single Tsunami. And you can just hero power the 4/4 Grifta. Very important to be the Grifta and not the Pipsy, because you don't want Pipsy to die. That's all. Okay, right now he can still kill off this 4/4, but there is a counter spell, so he has to be smart about it, using the heal first and then using the damage. Okay, get fucked. Perfect. He lost his entire brew there, so that counterspell definitely was good. He still is capable of triggering it, however, so we are gonna have to handle this somehow. Yeah, it was a mistake, bro. It was a big mistake. We appreciate it. We applaud you for it. Okay. Goes hard. Okay, we're not super happy about how this is panning out, but we should be able to figure it out. Rising Wave does a good amount of damage. What else are we going to be able to do? We're going to be left with 4 mana. If you're Rising Wave, technically you could also repeat it with the Calm Man. That's still going to leave him with a thing on the board though. Let's keep on thinking. Alternatively, you could just hero power the 3/4. That's only gonna leave him with a 4/4 Zilliax, so that's definitely not horrible. Yeah, I think that's what you do. Hero power his 3/4. And you can play the 3 mana Rising Wave, and that's about it. Alrighty. Next turn we're able to Caligos into Tsunami, even though this board is not great for it. We'll see if that's the real play. This might actually feel like a reverb into Star Power instead. Let's think. Yeah, I think you reverb the 4/6 Divine Shield and then play Star Power and hope for the best. Okay, that was actually pretty good. That was probably the best way for this thing to go for you. Next turn, Caligos Volley might be the way to go.
Yeah.
Wow, takes it like a man. I mean, he does have healing, so what does he care? This is kind of scary. We are getting low on the health area. Would be really nice if this volley gives you a taunt or a rusher. That deck is a splitter. You don't have time with that. So let's see the Caligos. Out of these. Maybe Infinitize the Maxitude. It's kind of wonky. Fireball also is somewhat good, but I think Maxitude's better. And play the Sunset Volley. Surely it's gonna kill off the Zilliax. There we go. That's something. And you get a taunt. Lucky. That's about it. We could have also gotten a 5/6 rush. You could have gotten an 8/8 rush. We could have gotten the 6/7 that summons another bot at the end. So plenty of good outs. Next turn, if this Caligos actually lives, you could Tsunami into an Orb. Shit. Wait, he's attacking? Oh. That was weird. I guess he really wanted a coin. Well, sadly, we're not going to be able to do the orb on this turn as well, but we are kind of fine. Emphasis on the kinda. Okay. Hold up. Honestly, I feel like the normal orb game plan is way too slow for you. I think you actually go with a convincing Calm Man first, see what that does. Yeah, do that. Let's see what you get out of it. Okay. I'm thinking about Puzzle Master Khadgar or just another repeat volley with the con man.
I would have.
That actually gives you a slight lethal out if you get the 6/7 bot. No, it doesn't give you a lethal out.
Not
It's
quite.
gonna be at
no.
5 health. Ah, fuck it. Play another 4 mana. And put down the audio. Yeah, audio splitter. That's about it. And let's hope he's not gonna OTK you. He does have a holy spell and there could be the 4 damage if he has his Tourist already. We are in danger and honestly he should probably have it already. All comes down to him not having the Tourist right now, I'd say, because with those coins he has 5 extra mana after that. That means he does not have the Tourist. What does he have though? He's just bullshitting.
Shaking a stud.
He hasn't cast a holy spell yet, so he does not have 1 mana 4 damage. Yeah, that counter spell totally ruined his career. Damn, that was a close one. Okay, well, all around I think you did get to see all of the little different intricacies you could be having with this deck. You definitely don't always play it the same as all opponents. Against control decks, yeah, you want to be repeating a bunch of orbs, but against faster decks, you saw how we repeated a bunch of volleys against this guy, and that was actually enough tempo for him to fold at the end. Against Pain Warlocks, you really gotta be able to stabilize in the early turns if you can't. You already saw what happens there. And yeah, you don't always use things like Reverb the same way. Sometimes you use it on your Splitters, other times you use it on your Titans, and against that Death Knight, we used it on the freaking Gold Banner, because our hand was absolute shit, so getting yourself a little bit of card draw while denying the opponent a little bit of card draw definitely was the way to go. So, yeah, you can keep at it with the deck. It's definitely very capable. Gotta be real careful knowing what the orb repeats. We did get punished a little bit with that volume up in the mix, because we also had that 1 mana grifted thing, so gotta be real careful with the spells you actually discover, with the spells you actually get to play. It all comes back biting you at the end, so you gotta be real careful. And yeah, really important to figure out the turn before you actually start executing it. And if you figure out you actually have time to actually draw cards, discover cards, might as well start with that and see if that actually does not change the play entirely for you into something much better.
Yep.
Alrighty, man. Well, hope you found the session helpful. You might also want to check out my Hearthstone courses. I have one for trading, one for positioning. Might be pretty helpful for you. And I will be happy to do another one with you later.
Excellent. Thanks a lot. I really
like to
appreciate
do so.
that. It's really good.
Yeah, happy to hear, man. Have a good rest of your day, and talk to you soon.
You too.
Bye.